Boom, we're
Yo.
live. Mr. KreekCraft, what's up, dude?
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. Welcome to the stream. How are you?
Good, good, very good.
Happy birthday, man. How was it?
It's good. You know, as a Roblox streamer, every year I get older, and it's like I'm reminded of my impending doom every year. You know.
Dude, I just turned 24 and I had like a sneak midlife crisis. Does it get better?
Well, like I don't feel any older, but like, kids will start making jokes, and it's like I have no idea what that means anymore. And for the longest time, it's like, yeah, I'm hip with the kids. I might be 20, but I'm hip with the kids still. But now they'll say something, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. I have no clue.
They age you out a little bit, man.
I know.
But look, you're on a run, so I think you're doing all right. But dude, I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
coming on, man. Can you give us real quick for the more like trading crowd that isn't familiar with you? I just started talking about Roblox.
Yeah.
I don't know, a week ago, just to do this one segment, and it kind of popped off. Can you give us a quick intro into who you are and what you do, and then we could cover some of the fun stuff?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Started streaming when I was 14, so oh man, so that's
Whoa.
been a while. Like, yeah, a little bit over 10 years now. Started with Minecraft. I mean, hence the name. And then around like 2016, Minecraft kind of dipped on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
This was like pre-Dream and all those. And everyone was like, oh man, you gotta play Roblox. You gotta play Roblox. And I was like, no, never. It's a dumb kid's game. I'm not gonna play it. And then it just kept blowing up and blowing up. And I was like, fine, I'll play it. And I don't know how familiar you are with it, but like I played this one game called Phantom Forces, which is
Okay.
essentially like Battlefield or Call of Duty in
Uh-huh.
Roblox. So good. I started playing Roblox. Here we are, like, oh, actually 10 years later. I've been playing Roblox for 10 years. So yeah, it's been a journey.
I used to play like 2019, 2020 COVID era, like flee the facility era.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Um, but I hadn't in a while. Let me ask you on the YouTube side. Like, you only post Roblox.
Um, like mostly, I'd say like that and Roblox adjacent stuff. So like the new Poppy Playtime games
Okay.
coming out. I'm looking forward to streaming that. Like FNAF, Roblox adjacent, audience wise, I guess. Yeah.
What's the thinking behind that? So for what I stream and cover is like we do a lot of crypto and niche markets, which obviously have less of a total audience than like the stock market per se, right? But we're
Yeah.
really we're sort of like hyper focused on a couple specific niches, and you could maybe say a similar thing with Roblox. Like it's obviously huge, but there's other games people play, there's other metas, there's other things that are popular. Like, why are you so super focused on just this ecosystem?
I mean, it's funny because like Roblox has so many different demographics across it. So like depending on what game you play, you could have young kids to older kids to mostly boys to mostly girls that watch. Um for the longest time and like a lot of people do this, they'll just focus on like one specific Roblox game. The problem with that, just like with anything on YouTube is like what if that thing starts losing popularity? Well, then you're going down with the ship. So after 2020, I kind of like shifted into more general Roblox stuff. So like I didn't even mean for this to happen. I've kind of just done like the moist critical of Roblox. Like that's the
Moist
strat now. I just
critical of
talk
Roblox.
that's the best way to describe it. I talk about Roblox news and commentary and give my opinion on it. And it's just me talking right here to the camera. And so it's more of like a general, I guess like kind of variety Roblox stuff. Eventually I would like to kind of teeter out of it a little bit and expand a little bit more. But it's really hard to do that because obviously people subscribe for one thing and they want that one thing.
It's crazy it goes as niche as one specific Roblox game, and that's what
Yeah.
you post. I um I feel like Roblox really came back on my radar around Grow a Garden, which
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was insane. Like it was all over my feed, and I feel like it hadn't been for a considerable amount of time. And so Grow a
Yeah.
Garden goes crazy, and I'm like, all right, maybe I should pay attention. And then there's this steal a brain rot meta,
Yeah.
happening at the same time, and then we also have Two Hollis concert. There was the Bruno Mars thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Where does Grow a Garden and like the recent hype explosion compare to like prior success bands?
So like from 2015 prior, because obviously Roblox came out in like 2004,
Yeah.
2006 era. It was very, very niche. It was kind of like, that's like some dumb,
Yeah.
broke boy Minecraft game. And then like 2018-ish, it started picking up steam, and then the pandemic happened, and that just catapulted it
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
Every kid was at home playing Roblox, and it's interesting because like Grow a Garden and still a brain rot. They're the like in terms of video game history, period, the most concurrent users in any video game ever. And so it really blew Roblox up even more. Like there's more people playing Roblox now than there was during the pandemic, and like everyone was at home during the pandemic, which is crazy. Because like normally after the pandy happened,
Pandy.
um, so YouTube. Let me explain that. I'm so used to saying that. YouTube used to demonetize the word pandemic, so we would say pandy.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So normally, like after the pandemic, things went down, people got back to normal life, but Roblox had just kept going up and up and up, and then Grow a Garden happened, and like it's like a whole new audience. It's like Gen Alpha just flooded Roblox after Grow a Garden came up and Still Brainrot came up. It's been crazy.
So I didn't realize, and I posted. By the way, I was kind of geeked. You showed my clip on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much money these people were making, but I just saw the Grow Garden thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this is sick. It's super viral. I didn't realize these people were like churning out 8 figures plus on these successful games. And then you posted a clip where you said you made at least $1 million plus, I think, from Steal a Brain Rot, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, like what's going on here? Like, can you? And I know I talked about it a little bit, but can you sort of set the stage and break down a little bit like the financial and the market side for Roblox games?
So like Roblox is in this really weird position right now where like over time games have kind of shifted more towards that like freemium mobile-esque kind of like
Yeah,
economy in games. And like I personally from a gamer perspective, I hate loot boxes. I hate
okay,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then like but obviously from a monetary standpoint, it makes a whole lot of money for these Roblox devs, which is why they keep doing it. Um and so like over time you've started to see like as Roblox got more popular, like Grow a Garden obviously big mobile game-esque monetization, same with Still a Brain Rot. Um and so like it's if done well, you can make a decent, like income on Roblox. I feel like it's a lot like YouTube though. Like I don't want to be one of those people like, oh yeah, just make a Roblox game, you'll become rich. It's like YouTube, like everyone who makes YouTube videos ain't gonna get rich. Some do. Same with Roblox games.
I actually like that take. I actually have the clip here now. It wasn't 1 million. It was I lied. I've actually made over $2 million from Steal a Brain Rot. Is that true?
So to be fair, that was people ask me on stream like how much money do you make, and every time I'll just pull a random number out of thin air. That time, I that was a joke. Obviously most Roblox YouTubers most YouTubers period that are big are millionaires, just straight up.
Yeah.
But like, it's not necessarily because of like still a brain rot. It's just if you're a big YouTuber, you're probably making money. Um, but yeah, that was just some dumb thing I said on a stream that for some reason Dexerto clipped, and I just kind of rolled with it because why not?
Okay, makes sense. It's a good
Yeah,
clip. It was a really good clip. The timing was good.
yeah.
And one of the things I didn't realize about this world after I did my stream and made some clips is I was getting hit up by these developer studios that were like, "Hey, we're so and so. We've built these games that have charted in the top 100. We're looking for, we have a team of 9 people. We're looking for investment to build this concept." Like, who's actually making these games? Like, what is the scene
So
with these developer studios?
a big like trend in Roblox right now is a lot of these big companies and studios, they don't necessarily make games. They kind of scout out games that people are making and like whenever it's kind of new to the scene, maybe it's got like a few thousand players, but obviously has problems, can be improved. They'll be like, this game has major potential. We're going to pay you X amount of money for it. Maybe we own 50%. Maybe we own it outright. And
Yeah.
then they use their big teams to kind of like blow up that game. So like Grow a Garden, for example, Do Big and Jandal didn't make Grow a Garden. It was made by a kid named Adrian, and they were like, "Oh, this game has a lot of potential," and they, kind of like bought into it and helped them expand it.
And is there like a in Roblox system for you to come in with capital and be like, hey, I would like to own 20% to
No,
fund you like 20K, or is this all like under the table
it's
back channels?
very, it's very under the table back channels. There's some questionable stuff at times.
What do you mean?
It like Okay, so one big problem in the Roblox scene is like a lot of people who make games are kids,
Mm-hmm.
and kids don't know anything about contracts or legality or anything. So, like a big situation that happened recently, last year, is one of the biggest games in Roblox, Forsaken,
Okay.
making millions of dollars a year, and they had no legal paperwork, no copyrights, no trademarks, and nothing. And so there was a big dispute over who owned the game. And
Oh.
how does that work? Well, the owner of the game is a 16-year-old. So how does that work? He can't sign a contract. So it's like there's a lot of like I don't like that's probably a lawyer question. Like I don't even know how you would navigate some of that, but it's weird because like you could have a kid making a game that's making millions of dollars and there's no legal paperwork. It's basically just a bunch of random people online being like, "Cool, let's make a game."
And so, I mean, Roblox is obviously aware of this. We can maybe like skip over some of the legal rabbit hole stuff, but they're obviously aware of this, and they are
Yeah.
obviously do better as a company if these games are successful. Is this?
Yeah.
Do they talk about this?
Um, like as I've kind of gotten in the know with things, I'd say a lot of people don't like the normal Roblox audience probably doesn't know the back end of like, the Roblox ecosystems and games going back and forth, ownership and like it's not talked about that much, to be honest.
It feels like the dark arts back there. That's actually a weird spot. How does it work? Like, is there one developer account that just gets all of basically the Roblox?
So like a lot of like big companies, they have like I guess you'll call them like scouts or whatnot. Like um there's this one Discord server that like in order to get into it, you have to have like so many concurrents on a Roblox game and like a whole bunch of other metrics. And then like it's kind of like I don't want to say like a trading server, but like a lot of people that buy and sell games do it there. But there's like other means too. Like some people will just see a game popping off and they'll be like, "Hey, what's the stats on that game? We're looking to buy it, get ownership in it, et cetera, et cetera."
A game trading server. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fascinating. Actually, I did not know that existed. So you made a couple games.
Yeah, I did.
Give me
Yeah.
some lore. Give me some lore. What 2021? I think was you made the first one, and then
Yeah,
another one 2023.
I partnered with a game studio and like we kind of made a game together.
Uh-huh.
Um it didn't really work out that well. It didn't really last that long. Um and then in 2023 I was with another company that it I wouldn't really call it my game. I was just kind of like an advisor on
Yeah,
it kind of
like a
thing,
public
like
figure, like
creative.
promoting it.
Yeah, kind of like that. Um and like it did all right, but like one big issue with like a lot of these big companies is because they spend so much money, like a game can't just be all right. It's got to
Has to be
be
like
good.
perfect.
Yeah, it has to be making money like, a good amount, otherwise it's not really worth it. Um and I guess that's probably true for gaming in general these days with every company, but yeah, so I made those two, and if I ever do another one in the future, it's like it's gonna be like me funding it with my team, like
Interesting. So
yeah.
there's a couple of games you're involved with that were like not exactly what you had envisioned were going to be the outputs.
It's not the decisions I would have made. Yeah.
Interesting. Um, were they good games? What's the difference? Because okay, if you were looking on the surface level and you're not someone that's super in the weeds, and you see like Steal a Brain Rot Tsunami Edition, and you're like, all
Yeah.
right, like I could make this, but then you log on, I've logged like 10 hours on it, right? Like legit 10 hours on the game. It's a good game. But if you look at, maybe like quality or like depth to it, the difference between 100,000 concurrent and like 1,000 can feel like minuscule. Like, how do you get in the weeds there?
The biggest game on Roblox right now, and let me actually make sure this is true before I say. Okay, the second
Is
biggest
it
game
fishing?
at the moment, not Fish It, but Escape Tsunami for Brain
It's
Rots.
so good.
It's you say that it's probably, and like no disrespect to the developers, I know the developers. It's probably the worst made game that's made it this big on Roblox. Like from a quality standpoint, it's like I know some developers that could probably make that game in a day.
And how much do you think it's making
But
right now?
oh, it's probably it's well in the millions, that's for sure. It's actually another thing that's kind of been popping up on Roblox, and obviously we see this on YouTube too. Whenever one big video goes viral, people will copy it and make like their own
Yeah,
versions
there's
of
like
it.
100 Steal a Brain Rots.
It's same thing. People are selling templates for like Escape Tsunami templates. So instead of Escape Tsunami for brain rots, you just swap out the brain rots with memes or scooters or cars or vehicles,
Pokemon or some shit. Yeah.
Pokemon, whatever. And like it blows my mind that like kids are playing because like growing up, I grew up in the 360 era. I played Halo, Call of Duty back when it was good. And like if I was 12 years old today, I couldn't see myself playing this game. Um, but what do I know, you know?
Okay, so you at some level have to play these games. Like you don't like have to
Yeah.
play Steal a Brain Rot Tsunami version, but you could at least for an hour to make the video out of it. You have to play these games. Do
So
you?
like
Yeah, talk about
I-
that.
I'll, I'll say there's like different like eras of Roblox. So when I started playing Roblox, the big game was like Phantom Forces, which is like Call of Duty, and then it was Jailbreak, which is kind of like GTA. Doors was a horror game. Piggy was like a story-based horror game, and like I liked those because they either had some depth to them gameplay wise, or in the case of Piggy, the depth came in the form of like the actual story and lore. And so there was like content and stuff you could sink your teeth into. A lot of the
Yeah.
newer games trend on more towards like mobile-esque games. So like they don't have a lot of depth to them. They're basically just mobile games that your grandma would download off the App Store. Um, and so like some days it's like, yeah, I do struggle with this. I have like obviously I have to make videos on what the Roblox audience wants to watch. And right now it's still a brain rot. Um, is it my favorite Roblox game? No. I make it fun, but like if it died tomorrow, I wouldn't be crying about it, you know?
And also, I don't. You obviously have way more context than I do, but it doesn't. It feels like every popular charting game is this sort of like, it's like this endless, no real goal, like no like binary ending. It's these like endless
Yeah.
simulator farm prototypes,
And
which
then
are
like
really
every
good
week they
for
they
monetizing. Yeah.
update with yeah, more monetization,
Okay,
more
so
like
after
yeah.
watching you and a couple other Roblox YouTubers, I was watching all these videos like using AI to like make a game in an hour. I'll ask you about that later.
Yeah.
But after getting all these videos, my whole YouTube FYP is Roblox, and a surprisingly large percentage of the videos are basically talking about how the 2016, 2018 Roblox era was fucking goated, and where we are right now is slop and awful. But Roblox is way bigger right now than it was in that
Yeah.
era. Like, what happened?
I'd say the general sentiment is so okay, pre-2020, Roblox as a company felt different. They felt very connected to the community. A lot of the updates, transparency. It felt very much like pre-Activision Blizzard.
Okay.
And then
Hit
2020
the
came
deck.
out. Yeah. 2020 happened. They became a publicly traded company, and it felt like the fall of Blizzard all over again. It was like now these kids get to experience what I went through because it's like they stopped being transparent, they stopped communicating, and it's like every update they do, everyone's just questioning why. Like, why would you do that? That makes so like right now there's a big drama going on because they decided that they want to have all animated faces on
Faces.
Roblox
I saw
avatars.
your video. I saw your
Yeah.
video. Yeah.
You can't have any static faces. And it's like, why? Why not just have both? Like, I don't understand. Um, and I'd say like the general PR sentiment around Roblox as a company is negative. And then of course you have the Schlepp situation too, which like, yeah, Roblox is as a company, I kind of feel like to a degree, there's two things to answer your question. Number one, Roblox survives off of user generated content. So like the people make the games. So it kind of gets a pass there. Like Roblox kind of gets to avoid that there. But also I think it's just so big that's like, yeah, you can take away a kid's chat. You can mess with their avatar, but like they're probably still going to play Roblox
And
because
so
that's what everyone plays.
this brings me to a question that's like on the UGC stuff, which is fascinating. I know you don't like the word metaverse, so I'll spare you the word. But the concept of UGC is so it's incredible, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like a lot of these like alternative markets and Roblox, obviously Fortnite, obviously Roblox takes like 75% fee on
They do take
these
a lot.
creators that are making these incredible games. And the problem, to the point you just made, is like it's like, okay, cool. You don't want to deal with our fee, like go somewhere else. But there's nowhere else to go, right? It's like if YouTube bans you or YouTube doesn't want you to make content about X topic, you're probably just gonna stop. Because you could go to
Yeah.
Rumble or some other platform, but the people that you care about are on YouTube. And so you're probably just gonna stop talking about the thing and you're gonna stay on YouTube. It's like, what do you think? Like, how does that evolve? Like, can Roblox continue to get away by taking 75% plus fee on these games? And like, what does the future of the UGC growth look like?
I think there's an asterisk on that. That is a very high amount. The asterisk on that is Roblox doesn't make developers pay for any server hosting or any costs like that. So like you just make the game
For free.
and there's no cost. I don't know how the math on that works out. I don't know if that's great. I don't know if that's good, but like obviously if you go on Steam, I'm pretty sure you do have to pay for stuff like that. So like that's the asterisk there. I recently Roblox announced that they are increasing the DevX rates, which is the rate of Robux to real life money transfer. Which is good because I for the longest time I think, obviously should be developers making these games should be making more money. Um I'd like to get to a point where if developers are doing good, I'm doing good. So I want them to do good. So like I'd love Roblox to get to a point where developers can make even more money off of Roblox and through different means, whether it's like selling merch or like that's something they did recently is like you can sell like actual physical merchandise in your games now. So like you can buy it from within
Yeah.
Roblox. Like helps out developers.
I skipped over your take about the Roblox team, which by the way, you're passionate and sometimes you call them out like you do. You get heated about the Roblox team, but I feel like it's good. It's refreshing to hear because you especially for maybe my side of the internet doesn't have that much context for like what's going on. It's a pretty colored, definitely not being paid off level to take.
Yeah.
And my question for you, I'm always curious with these type of game experiences. Like, do you think like how actively is the senior management at Roblox that's making these decisions playing the game? Is there a disconnect there?
I say this all the time. I am not convinced that these people like play like the average Roblox employee. I know a bunch of people at Roblox. They're great. I love them. The average Roblox employee, I would say probably gets it. I would say like the upper management of Roblox, I don't think they play Roblox. I I would be shocked to hear that they actively play the game.
And then so they just make decisions where you're like, yeah, this guy obviously doesn't fucking play the game, and you're stuck in this weird spot.
It feels very out of touch. So like I'll give you a good example. Over the past few years, and Roblox backed off on this a little bit, they were really pushing these they call them arthro avatars, basically like humanoid realistic avatars, as opposed to the blocky ones. They wanted to phase out the blocky stuff, put in realistic stuff. And they looked like, dude, some of these avatars looks like a demon that wants to suck the soul out of your body. But like Roblox is like, this is the future. You're gonna love it. Nobody loved it. And so like what happened is like they made all these changes, all these games. Nobody played these realistic games. Nobody used these realistic avatars. And they've started to shift back. And it's like if you actually play the game, you never see anyone running around with one of these avatars. So it's like I don't know. It feels like I use this term a lot. Roblox is a gaming company that wants desperately to be a tech company, and that's the disconnect. They're trying so hard to not be a game company, but they are. They make games for kids and teenagers, and that's what they are. And they can have their cool little AI tech and their tech stacks that they tweet about all the time. But at the end of the day, all these kids want is good games.
Okay, so I watched this video, I think by the Roblox CEO, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, maybe more recent, talking about, he had this it was like this AI demo, and he's like going around to the world, he's typing things, the world's like updating, and he's basically talking about
the Viking water thing.
Yeah. And so that in tandem with, it feels like one of the most popular Roblox trends is like how I use ChatGPT to vibe code a Roblox game in under 24 hours. Like, what's your take on AI and like the vibe coding impact on people's ability to make Roblox games? Is it all just slop?
I have yet to see a good Roblox game that was made with AI. I'd say a lot of people that say that probably don't know what they're talking about. I think we'll probably get to a point where that's possible because like AI just seems inevitable at this point. But like what that looks like, I have no idea. It's I know a lot of Roblox games, they use AI to make the thumbnails, and like if a lot of people found out about that, there'd probably be a giant community uproar. But
you think so about the thumbnails?
Gen Alpha is very heavy no AI, especially the Roblox community. Like pitchforks and torches. Do not touch us with any of that AI stuff.
But they're definitely using it for like school and shit.
Yeah. I think the big thing for Gen Alpha is the notion that they're replacing people or that people are getting paid less or something. And like, I mean, you know, we could have a discussion on AI. It feels it's scary because it's like, I don't like, obviously as a YouTuber, there's a Twitch streamer that's completely AI. And a few days ago, they were the most subbed Twitch streamer or whatever. And it's like, that's scary. It's a crazy time.
Have you ever used Claude Code? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Do you know what Claude is?
Is that I think I've heard the bot, like the AI bot?
So you used ChatGPT, I would assume.
Yeah, I know ChatGPT.
Okay, so like OpenAI makes ChatGPT, and then Anthropic is like another company that makes AI similar to OpenAI. Instead of ChatGPT, their model is called Claude. And then they have this like code editor called Claude Code, and it's really fucking good. I was using it, so I had it like speaking to it in English. I built this like little script that downloaded like 20 of your YouTube videos. It like transcribed them, like everything about KreekCraft, and then it's giving me like summaries on like what you like, what you don't like, what not to ask him, like what to ask him about this game that launched on your birthday in 2020, and it's like giving me like comprehensive just like summaries. I use it for my Twitch VODs as well. And it definitely does feel like it will get to a point, if not already, where talented people, especially on the dev side, can use the dev tools to like enhance their work and like enhance their speed, enhance their productivity. It definitely doesn't feel like, at least right now, that this narrative of like 99% of people that have any job that does anything are going to be wiped off the face of the earth. I can show you some off stream. I'll send you some like Claude Code stuff and show you what I made. But I would understand why the younger generation in particular would hear the word and have like a visceral lockup type of reaction.
Yeah, it's I think another thing too is like no well besides the the employment thing, you've got the economic like um impacts of AI. I think there is like the opposite side of the coin, like generative AI. Like you could have AI help in like cancer research, which could speed up research on diseases and health stuff. Like I think that's a great, like cool. That's awesome. That can help a lot of people. Um I think it's an interesting topic and like kind of like where it's going. And then obviously there's the Wally thing of like, well, like if we do get to a point where AI can do everything, well then do people just not work anymore? Like, what does that look like? I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah, mine too. But it's interesting. Like the players of Roblox hate to hear the gamers. I feel like in general just hate to hear the term AI. But then Roblox senior management at every corner is like AI this,
Yeah.
AI that, AI that. Do you think Roblox company likes you?
Um, I question that a lot. I I talk to the CEO time to time.
Really?
Like I feel like a lot of people value my opinion. Like a lot of people don't like me,
Mhm.
but I think there's definitely a lot of people that value my opinion because I don't sugarcoat things. And it's like I don't criticize Roblox because I like criticizing Roblox. I do it because like if Roblox does good, then I do good. Players are happy, developers are happy, and it's like I just want it to be a good game. And a lot of people are kind of scared to, bite the hand that feeds them a little bit, which
Yeah.
is understandable. I just have a really big mouth. Like and I'm very opinionated. And it's so like, I'm just kind of that guy. Like I left the Star program. I'm no longer partnered with Roblox. That was my decision.
Did you publicly say why you did that?
Oh yeah, when the Schlep stuff
Okay.
happened, I was like, yeah, no, like
I don't want to be part of
that
this.
was crazy. Yeah, yeah. And I did it because like obviously one YouTuber leaving, whatever. But like obviously I'm one of the bigger ones, so I was hoping that it would be like kind of like an eye-opening moment for Roblox to kind of like sit back and be like, look, what's our problems right now? Like something needs to happen here. Has that happened? I don't know, but I like sticking to my guns, I guess, on things and trying not to compromise on like, what I think is right and not right.
Which honestly, which is why I've like enjoyed watching your stuff. On the UGC thing, what do you think? Like, how big do you think it's gonna get from here? Just the concept of people creating and monetizing games, and what do you think comes next? Like, is it just Roblox gets 10x bigger? Is it everybody competes for it? Things like Fortnite gain more market share. Like, where does it go from here?
I hope that other games get like Fortnite takes off. That they've kind of copied Roblox a little bit with their like I forget what they're calling, but their own little like mini games or whatever.
Maps.
Um Maps, yeah, maps. I think Roblox needs competition. Like look at Call of Duty and Battlefield. Battlefield shows up, now Call of Duty's got to like actually, listen to people. So I want there to be another Roblox where like they have like some actual competition because then they've got to like actually really try. Is that going to be Fortnite? I don't know because almost every Fortnite game right now is just dollar store Roblox. Which is ironic because most Roblox games are just dollar store Steam.
Is it like
So
steal a
like
brain? Like what is like steal a brain rot in Fortnite or like what is it?
the top game on Fortnite right now that at a point had more players than the actual Battle Royale mode is a game called Steal the Brain Rot, which is a direct clone of Steal a Brain Rot on Roblox. It's the
No
exact game.
way. So
Yeah.
it's just like a giant circle. Like everyone's just going around in a circle with the same games.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. And like Roblox isn't, like immune from that either. You could say Forsaken is basically Dead by Daylight, like it's a little different, but like I think it's a bigger discussion on the gaming industry, and I actually tweeted this the other day because I was talking to someone about this. Like, you have a lot of AAA games coming, like Grand Theft Auto 6. How much is that going to cost? $100? I don't know. Like, kids aren't paying money for that anymore. They're playing these free games on Roblox and Fortnite. So what's going to happen to the gaming industry when these kids grow up and don't want to spend
They
any
don't pay
money
for
buying a
games.
game? Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting discussion.
I would imagine the GTA 6 UGC
Yeah,
ecosystem is gonna be
that's gonna have
huge.
like
Like you're gonna have to play. Are
kids.
you gonna play GTA 6? You have to, right? A little bit.
Yeah, yeah, we've talked about it. We've talked about it. I'm gonna make a channel where I start swearing and playing
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. Uh,
Start swearing. My
I,
bad, by
I
the way.
imagine. No, you're good. I'm not streaming right now, so swear you want. I think what's gonna happen is like Grand Theft Auto is gonna come out, and a bunch of kids aren't gonna be able to play it either because it's their parents won't buy it for them or because they don't have money to buy it, and so people are just gonna make the Grand Theft Auto clones in Roblox, and those are gonna be the big thing.
Whoa.
That's,
That's kind of a crazy take. GTA 6 and Roblox, like, that's probably
well,
gonna be
like
massive, right?
there's kind of already games like that. So like before 2020, the biggest game on Roblox was Jailbreak, which is basically Grand Theft Auto, close enough. Um, and like obviously over time that game's kind of teetered off a little bit, but I mean Roblox is very trend based, and so games follow trends. Brainrot got really big. People make Brainrot games. Um, so I expect once GTA comes out, people are gonna make GTA style games.
That is a crazy take. Um, Not to throw a curveball, but do you hold Roblox stock?
I don't know. I have a person that does.
Just manages.
I
Okay, I was just curious, like
yeah.
how like excited you are about like the financial growth of it.
Well, every time I look at the stock thing, I see a red arrow, so I assume that's not good. Um, so I hope I don't hold a lot of Roblox stock right now. Um, yeah, I don't know anything about like I know green arrow good and red arrow bad, and it's like great.
I just thought it was a better question asking you think Roblox is gonna get bigger, but I'll let you go in a minute. I have a couple more for you, but I'm curious on the
Sure.
like serious developer side. Like if you're one of the, say you were to back a game or just one of these studios would put big money
Yeah.
behind a game, how do you deal with the volatility of like you grow a garden, you have like 600,000 concurrents for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden, there's some controversy, whatever happens. Next
Yeah.
week you have 30,000 players. How do you deal with that?
I think a lot of Roblox developers shoot themselves in the foot. Like the Grow a Garden situation was entirely avoidable. I think like the updates just I mean they ruined the game. There's a lot of games that obviously games have a life cycle. This is true with any game. They'll have a peak, and the honeymoon phase doesn't last forever. So like Jailbreak, for example, that game was the biggest game on Roblox from like 2017 to like 2020.
That's crazy.
It's no longer the biggest game on Roblox, but every day it has like 20,000 concurrents and it has that dedicated player base, and that's still pretty good. That's more than a lot of actual games. Um, and that's just because they do a very good job at listening to people and updating the game. So like I think a lot of big companies, and this happens a lot on Roblox, a big company will buy a game, they'll just over monetize it, squeeze everything they can out of it, game dies, everyone's shocked. And it just repeats over and over again. And is it better to do that in the short term, or is it better to make a game where you have an actual build up community that is going to last for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years? I don't know, but obviously from a player perspective, the second option is the more fun one.
Yeah, big. I mean, I guess makes sense how it always sort of ends, right?
Yeah.
Do you have like a craziest Roblox developer story that you've ever heard of? Like some in a couple days, someone made a crazy amount or like built something crazy.
Well, like Grow a Garden was made in a few days.
That's disgusting. 3 days, I heard.
Yeah, which is wild. It's funny because like when Grow Garden was blowing up, I saw that Bethesda posted like the new Doom new Doom game had like I think it was like a million people, million plays, and like I'm looking at Girl Garden over here with 23 million players right here, and it's like
Oh my God.
that's crazy. I'm like that's insane. And like that game, you know, Doom takes like 3 years to make. They made this game on Roblox in like 3 days. It feels a lot like YouTube. Sometimes you won't spend a lot of time on a video, but people value it more. You know, time spent doesn't necessarily indicate the quality, you know?
One of my favorite takes I heard is someone called Roblox. I mean, this may be a popular take, but they called it Roblox the YouTube for gaming.
Yeah, I would say like it's very similar to YouTube. If you just look at the games as videos, like it's very similar.
It's a fun take, and it's exciting. Yeah, dude, it's a sick world. I have become a fan of yours, and I do appreciate you coming on. As sort of like a sign off, personal, like
Yeah.
selfish question, and I'm assuming I know you're not very familiar with me, but we both stream, and we both stream amongst a relatively like niche topic, and maybe not the biggest in the pond. Roblox is much bigger than the markets I talk about every day, but I'm curious, like advice for continuing to focus on one thing, for streaming, for just like general growth. I know you've been at it for a long time, but dude, you're fucking master.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I mean it's when you're kind of like starting out, you kind of have to focus on one thing because the thing is like people follow you, people subscribe to you because they like one thing that they watched. Like a lot of people, they'll just be like, Kreek, why don't you just play whatever you want? And it's like, well, if I could do that, I'd be streaming World of Warcraft every day. But like that's not what people subscribe for. They saw one thing, they want that one thing, that's what they subscribe for. And so like a lot of Roblox creators, they'll blow up off of like one game, that game dies, and it's like, oh crap, what do I do now? And so you kind of have to like pivot to something else. Um, it's really hard to do variety right out the gate. What like a lot of people do is they'll build up their niche audience off of like one specific like you may not be the biggest streamer, but you might be the biggest streamer of a certain topic. And then you can kind of branch out a little bit. It's like you become the big fish in a small pond, and then you go to a slightly larger pond, and then a slightly larger pond, and just kind of make your way up, you know?
It's honestly a sick take. Kreek, you're a legend, bro. Thank you for the time. Thanks
Yeah.
for featuring me in the video. It was kind of a movie, and I'm looking forward to see what you put out, man. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
my brother. Good luck with everything. Have a good one.
Cool. You too.